Hey gorgeous souls, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for joining me for another one of my videos today. So today's video was actually requested in my Law of Attraction Facebook support group by a lovely lady who was saying, Emma, please do a video on how to manifest moving on after a breakup. And I feel like I've done so many videos on like love and relationships and manifestation in general that I thought actually I don't think I have, or at least maybe I did many moons ago, like we're talking 6 years plus ago, filmed a video on moving on after breakups and how we can use manifestation to help us with that and the best things that we could be focusing on during that time, because unfortunately breakups are a part of life. It's something that most humans will experience once or more in their life. And it's how we navigate that can be our biggest comeback and our biggest healings as well. So I want to help you with that and share my top tips and tools of how you can do that and how we can use the law of attraction to positively help us with this process too. But if you're new here to my channel, then welcome. My name is Emma. I'm an award-winning life coach and law of attraction YouTuber. I'm a 2 times best-selling manifestation author and the host of the #1 spirituality podcast on iTunes, Spiritual Queen's Badass Podcast. Here on my channel, I cover all things law of attraction, manifestation, spirituality, and self-help. And I really hope you're going to enjoy this video, but all of the videos on my channel here as well, because there is an abundance over the last 8 years for you to go and enjoy. So, breakups. Nobody wants to talk about them. Nobody wants to talk about them. Nobody wants them to happen. And we never go into a relationship expecting it to end at the end of the day. But sometimes we find ourselves in those situations and it can be really hard because we can, and I find like, especially for myself, talking from experience here, you can feel very lost after a breakup, I think sometimes. Sometimes you can feel relieved. And I think there's always that balance, isn't there, of everybody's experiences are going to be different. Everybody's feelings and emotions are going to be different. All of them are valid. All of them are real. And it's really honoring where you're at with your experience. But I feel like a lot of the time people can be very much like, whoa, okay, like I wasn't expecting that. Or maybe it was a long time coming and you were expecting it. But it's like, now there's that big wide world again and you're like, oh, okay, what do I do here? And I think there's always like 2 sides to or 2 energies that people experience with breakups. You might have people who really struggle to move on, who feel very attached still, who maybe even want to manifest that person back. And then you have the other side where people feel maybe relieved or happy that they're now can focus on themselves. Maybe they are grateful that they are now away from that relationship, or they're ready to move on and they're ready to meet somebody, or, you know, whatever the circumstance. There is so many different circumstances that can be coming to this video. So again, just, you know, work with what resonates, chuck away what doesn't, and hopefully it's going to help as many people as possible in whatever situation you are in. The one thing that I do want to start off with though is talking about when we want someone back, because I guarantee this is going to be the highly commented thing, or the highly like, Emma, talk about this, because it is always commented on my YouTube videos. It's in my DMs on Instagram and things like that. And I think it's a great topic to discuss because nobody can tell you whether you're right or wrong with it. That's the thing. And I think that's what I've learned over the years of nobody knows your relationship like you do. Nobody can speak for you. Nobody can make that decision for you. Only you can. But I always feel like when people say they want to manifest someone back, I'm like, okay, but why are they not here in the first place as well? Like just being that like, you know, little like, let's just think about this. Why aren't they here now? There could be an extremely valid reason for that. Again, everybody's situations are going to be different, but I think it's always just good to think about these things, to be like, okay, so we hear stories all of the time of people getting back together and like love rekindled. I mean, look at flipping like J-Lo and Ben Affleck 20 years later. Now they're flipping married. So it is possible, absolutely. But I think the energy that you must take forward when you are in that place of maybe your intuition's telling you it's not over, maybe your intuition's telling you that there's more to come or whatever like that, is you have to approach it from neutrality. You cannot go through this phase or this season of your life wishing, wanting, hoping, and waiting. Like, I have to stress this to you. You will not manifest it if you are doing that. And it is just not how the law of attraction works. And it's also not an attractive energy as well. And I don't mean that like you're not going to be attracted for that person, but sometimes it can come across energetically like that as well. But it's not an attractive energy because it's needy, and you don't want to be in that energy. You don't need to be in that energy. And for anybody who is in that energy, self-worth, self-worth, self-worth. And I had a lady who submitted a question to my Instagram Q&A a couple of weeks ago saying like, how can I manifest someone missing me? And I said, you don't. You work on the wounds that stop you from knowing your self-worth and how awesome you are. Because we don't need to manifest anybody missing us, because when you know what you bring to the table, when you know how amazing you are and how lovely you are and all the things that you have to offer to a relationship, you don't need to make anybody miss you, because you know that this is what I bring to the table. And if that person's not going to miss me, then someone even better will. And a lot of the time, and again, speaking from experience here, it is a lack of self-worth when people are very much like, oh my God, I need to manifest this person back. And it's in a desperate way. If you're like chilled and you're like, I'm open to all possibilities, it's a very different energy that I'm going to get to. But work on your self-worth. You don't need to make anybody miss you. That we don't want to manipulate. The law of attraction is not about manipulation. You don't want to force somebody to be with you. That's also like 100% the wrong energy. It has to come from a space of neutrality. So be open. What's the worst that could happen? You could manifest this person, or you could manifest someone even better and you're like, oh my God, like the universe totally surprised me in the best freaking way. So just be open, be neutral, be open, and focus on yourself. And my advice to this woman was, focus on you, heal yourself for yourself, focus on your joy, not on this other person. That their stuff is their stuff. Your stuff is your stuff, and you need to work on the feeling of not feeling worthy enough or being enough that makes you want someone to miss you. So when you know what you bring to the table, you will never ever need to make anybody miss you, trust me. So that's for my people who are watching this with that energy. The people who are watching this who are like, I want to move on, I'm ready to move on, or even, you can absolutely feel that with the previous energy as well. But how do we reach that neutral space? How do we reach that space where you're manifesting, wanting to move on after a breakup? And I think the key here is time. Time is a great healer, as well as the inner work as well, of course. But I feel like time is definitely something, and I know it's never reassuring to hear that. I know when people have said it to me before, I'm like, ugh, gross. That's not helping at all. But time is a great healer. It is. And hindsight is a beautiful thing as well. But when you're in it and it's fresh and it's raw, that's not going to be very comforting at all. So the best thing that you can do in that stage is to really love yourself. Reclaim your power, take your energy back and focus on you. You may have lost yourself a little bit. You may feel like it's a great time to focus on yourself and work on that self-love and build up that self-worth again. It may be a great time to rediscover your passions and your purposes, or reconnect with your friends and your loved ones. So make sure you are doing all of those things. Make sure you are doing things that spark joy, that light up your life, and are going to bring that lightness and that joy and that happiness to you, because that's really, really important, that you're looking after yourself, you are focusing on you. And when you're in that stage of, I would call it hurt, so out of my new book, Hurt, Healing, Healed, I would definitely call it the hurt stage. You really have to slow down. You have to slow down. You have to process the loss and grieve in the way that feels right to you. It is a loss. And I think we experience so many different losses as human beings in our life. And that's why I was really passionate about writing Hurt, Healing, Healed. So anybody watching this, that is the book you need. It's out on the 11th of October, and I highly recommend, if you're going through a breakup right now, this is a fantastic book to help you with that. And all forms of losses, even if you're not going through a breakup. But When we're in that hurt stage, we have to slow down. We have to honor ourselves. We have to honor our losses, and we have to grieve that relationship or that loss or that death, or even if it can feel like a death of yourself, we have to honor it and we have to grieve it and we have to find acceptance with it. So I feel like the first step is acceptance of what is, what was, and what may never be. And that's really hard. But it is a process that you can work through. Obviously, the book guides you through that, but it is a process of moving through that hurt stage and identifying what the hurt is. Has it knocked your self-worth? Has it knocked your belief of love, for example? So definitely, first step is acceptance, loving yourself, self-care and self-love the whole way, and doing things that spark joy. And then when it feels right and it feels natural and it feels like the right time to do it, you can start to focus on the inner work and you can start to focus on self-worth. You can start to focus on things like I was giving examples of, if you feel like worth is coming up, if you feel like some limiting beliefs and fears are coming up, if you're feeling triggers coming up or anything like that, you can then start to work on that. And again, tools in the book for that. So you can then start to do that, whether that's through journaling, whether that's through self-inquiring, whether that's through reading my book, whether that's through working with somebody. You can start to do that gradually as it feels right. But I think the main thing I want to say here is there is no rush. There is no right or wrong. There is no linear process to healing. There is no linear process to grief. And your way is always the right way. There is no right or wrong with this, and everybody's journey, time span of healing, etc., will look different. So I cannot give anybody a time frame of like how long it would take, because everybody's different and everybody's soul contracts are different. Everybody's life experiences are different. Everybody's healing is different. So you've just got to honor the process and go with the flow and look after yourself as much as possible. And then you will get to the Beyonce stage, as I call it, where you move into a stage of feeling empowered, like, yes, like I feel amazing and I feel great and I'm feeling happy again. But again, there's no time frame on when this Beyonce stage can happen, but it does eventually. And I always think a great mantra, which my friend Natalia always tells me, and I posted it on my Instagram last week actually, was this too shall pass. And I feel like a lot of people who are feeling hurt will take great comfort in that, because it's true. Every moment in our life is a season. Every feeling never lasts forever. Our life ebbs and flows, right? So this too shall pass, and every stage of this shall pass too. And you'll start to feel lighter, you'll start to feel happier, you'll start to feel more like yourself, or maybe a new evolved version of yourself, a healed self. And you will be able to move through these, through each stage, each area, as and when feels right to you. There is no right or wrong. So give yourself permission to stop seeking perfectionism, to stop seeking 1, 2, 3 step process that's going to magically fix everything. Yeah, of course, all these tips and tools do, absolutely. But your journey, your healing is your journey at the end of the day. Not mine, not anybody else's, it's yours. So take your time with it. There is no rush to meet anybody else. There is no rush to do anything. The universe has perfect timing, as we know. So trust in the timing of your life. Trust in this season of your life. And those seasons of adversity, of hardship, of heartbreak, of loss, of grief, even if we're not just talking about relationships, they teach us so much about ourselves. They teach us so much that we can then take into our lives and grow and learn from. So remember, you're not going backwards, you're moving forwards, and you're up leveling into a more healed, aligned version of yourself who is getting closer to the very thing that you want, if that is a relationship, if that is commitment, if that is settling down, whatever it is. You are always moving closer to it. And each relationship, each divine assignment in our life teaches us a very valuable lesson. They all come with blessings and lessons. And you may not be at a point where you can look at that right now and be like, Emma, I can tell you all the blessings from that relationship. You may just be able to tell me all the lessons. And that's fine. One day, and maybe that could be soon, maybe that could be next year, you will be able to sit there and look at the blessings and say, thank you for teaching me that. Thank you for giving me that. Thank you for giving me that opportunity to learn this or to do this, or thank you for teaching me what I didn't want so then I could fully know what I did want in a partner, etc. So hindsight, like I said, is a great thing. You may not always feel it or know it at the time, but definitely you will reach that stage where you're able to look back with gratitude and look back with peace. So when you're in that Beyonce stage, then you can start to do this. And I think sometimes that may be a bit premature for that acceptance and for that peace and for that gratitude. So when we are in Beyonce mode as such, it is a great place to be in, because obviously you have moved through a lot of the hardships and the raw feelings and emotions which are so important to feel, to process and to sit with. It can feel hard sometimes to honor that, definitely, because we just want to bounce back and be happy and high vibe and manifest. But how can we use manifestation to help that moving on process? I think it comes down from focusing on yourself personally. So setting goals and intentions for yourself, whether that's, a daily thing each day, and 100% your daily practice will support you so much during this process. So making sure you are looking after yourself, regular self-love and self-care, eating the right things. Of course, I'm all here for treating yourself. And sometimes we do just need that little bit of carbs or that little bit of a naughty treat. Definitely, of course, I'm always here for balance. But looking after yourself in general and making sure you're sticking to a daily practice, whether that's gratitude and focusing on the things that you can be grateful for here and now in all areas of your life, whether that's a bit of stretching, a bit of yoga, some journaling, some meditation, just to ground yourself. Grounding is a really important thing to do during this time, because you can feel very scattered, very all over the place, very disconnected in that hurt stage. So definitely grounding yourself into Mother Earth. I've got grounding meditations here on YouTube, and you can ground yourself with like Epsom salt baths, Himalayan salt baths, things like that are really, really good to do. An Epsom salt bath is like my absolute go-to when I feel disconnected, when I feel like I'm not coping. So do make sure you have one of those regularly, because they will really help regulate your nervous system, just calm yourself and help you ground and relax. So set regular intentions, whether that's daily as part of your little morning routine of just how you would like to feel. And the Wouldn't It Be Nice method by Esther and Jerry Hicks is a fantastic one to use, because it's such a non-attached way of manifesting. So I would, write things down or say things. Wouldn't it be nice if today I felt calm? Wouldn't it be nice if today I felt a little lighter? Wouldn't it be nice if today I felt joy? And start off small and build up. You don't have to start off with wouldn't it be nice today if I was completely healed, felt $1 million and felt incredible? You're probably not going to manifest that on day one. So do build up along that emotional scale and start off where you're at and just manifest and set those intentions of how you would like to feel first and foremost, because this is a feeling healing situation. So your emotions and how you feel is going to be one of the best things that you can focus on first and foremost. And then when you feel ready to, and when it feels right to, and you feel in a peaceful, calm space and neutral, that is when you can then start to think of, okay, do I want to write a dream partner or a dream relationship list? Do I want to start putting intentions out there of what my next steps are? And for some people that may feel so far off, and they may be like, I don't want to think about another relationship for a while. And that is fine. Honor yourself. So you could set some intentions of what you would like to experience over the summer or winter, whenever it is, of things you would like to do or places you'd like to go or experiences you'd like to have. Maybe you do want to meet somebody else, and writing that dream list, it feels right and the right thing to do. So I think just honor yourself. And I definitely wrote lists even before I was ready to meet anybody. So I think that's absolutely fine to do as well. The universe knew that I wanted time, and I knew that that was the best thing for myself. But the one caution I would say is a lot of people rush into wanting to meet somebody else, or rushing into something new. And I think if you've been someone for a long time, or it's particularly traumatic, or it's a big toll on yourself, you're going to need that time. And I took a year between my previous 2 relationships. Every time I had a year in between, and it was the best thing I ever did for myself, because I was able to heal, I was able to feel, I was able to really get myself in the best place possible to receive a really healthy, aligned relationship. So I always think, I'm not saying that everyone should take a year out, but if you want to, definitely. But you've got to do what's right for you. You've got to be in the place to fully receive that relationship in whatever way it's meant to come, in an aligned way. So taking your own time, going at your own pace, and not rushing is always good, because you don't want to rush into something else and then project any unhealed aspects from a previous relationship, or not be able to commit, or not just be in it fully. Like, that's not fair on the other person, and that's not fair on you as well. So give yourself the time that you need. There is no rush, there is no race. Divine timing still exists, so don't worry. Like, whatever's meant for you next will still come in the perfect timing, and just trust the process. Trust the process, trust the journey, trust yourself, love yourself, nurture yourself, work on your inner child with yourself as well. Do that inner work, and you will see the light again. You will feel the light at the end of the tunnel, and you will move, like this too shall pass. You will move into that new space of alignment and joy again, and rediscovering this new version of yourself. And that's really exciting too. Like, that's a great journey of rediscovery, of healing, and is really exciting, and a massive positive and abundance thing as well, because you are going to start to attract that abundance again. And even when you're moving through these situations in life, you're still able to attract abundance. It's not like all of that's going to stop completely. It may just be in other areas of your life. So express your gratitude every day. Focus on the things that are going well and do feel good, because those are going to help you to feel those moments of lightness and joy within yourself. But in terms of using the law of attraction for this, I think you can use it for yourself. You can use it for feelings and emotions. You can use it to manifest some new exciting things when that feels right for you to do. But go at your own pace. There is no right or wrong, remember. And I'm sending you all so much love for anybody watching this who needs it, because it is a difficult thing to go through. It's never nice to go through it. And you will come out the other end stronger, brighter, lighter, and even more of an amazing queen than you were before. So I hope you guys have really enjoyed this video. Please let me know your thoughts below. I'd love to hear what comforted you the most, what you're going to try out of my tips and tools I've recommended, and how you're feeling with this. And maybe you're watching this and you're like, I've got some great tips that are going to help people as well. So do put them in the comments, because I'm sure people would really appreciate to read them. So thank you so much, guys, for watching. I appreciate all your views and likes. Don't forget to subscribe if you're new here, because I would love to see you again soon. Don't forget to leave me a comment in the comments box down below, because I reply to them all. And don't forget, you can join my free Law of Attraction support group over on Facebook, where you can join myself and other like-minded souls, where we talk all things Law of Attraction and spirituality. I hope you have a fantastic week, whatever you're up to. And I'll see you all in my next video, which will be on Friday. Lots of love.